All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles, and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. I want to do a real quick video on the same topic that I just had uploaded a previous video on, which was in the case of Marcus Marquillis Williams. It's a so-called black man, all right, a Judite that is being put to death, or at this time he already got put to death, that for a murder that there's no evidence really supporting that he did it. So it's led to believe that they just prisoned the innocent man for over 20 years and they just put him to death wrongfully. I just did a video on it, so I'm not going to do another video on that exact topic, but it was just a quick thought that came to mind when I was reading and thinking back about all of this. This made me think, and I haven't thought on this topic in a while. I'm gonna get straight to the point, but this made me think that, hey, race wars, man, race wars could be coming soon, because we know that that's another aspect of prophecy, is that the scriptures speak about race wars. All right, and race wars are going to be coming soon to the streets of America, aka Babylon the Great. And this just made me think, like, hey, this whole situation, it could, hey, Lord willing, it's the start to race wars, man. All right, because we know in the future there's going to be race wars here in America. This is biblical prophecy. All right, so I'm just going to keep it short. That's the thought that came to my mind, and I felt like I should just put it on wax, as they say, with a scripture real quick. All right. And before I get the scriptures, you can read up on the case, and you can read up on the case of what's going on. But pretty much they just put this man to death over something that there's no evidence that he did. All right. And it's a so-called black man, and it's riling up the spirit of a lot of so-called black people and the Israelites here in America. All right. Matthew 24, and I'm going to start at 6. I'm going to start at 4. It says, And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And we already know that there's wars and rumors of wars every day. All right, tension will forever keep building up in the Middle East until ultimately we know the scriptures speak of the Middle East as what? The Yahweh Shaphat, all right, the Most High's judgment. That's where World War III is going to take place. All right, verse 7 is a point. It says, For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So clearly we are in the end times. Everything that Yahweh Shai, this is red letter, everything that Yahushua said was going to happen is happening before our very eyes. All right, we already got pestilences breaking out. There's talks of more pestilences, earthquakes. You have famine in different areas around the world. It's soon going to come to the streets of America, aka Babylon the Great. And one of the prophecies is what? Nation against nation. That's talking about race against race. When you go into that word, a lot of people will think it's talking about literal nation against nation, like USA versus Russia. No, the scriptures just said that in the verse above. All right, and you can use this word in that sense too, but when you go into the word actually, because it said what? Kingdom against kingdom. So that's the USA, Russia, China, all the different countries, kingdoms on the planet Earth. This nation against nation, when you go into that word nation, it's the Greek word ethnos, and it says what? It said as a multitude of individuals of the same nature or genus, the human family. It says here it is a tribe, nation. Okay, it says what? A tribe, a nation, a people. So it's talking about nationalities. It's talking about race against race. That word ethnos is going into your race, your nationality. When you go in the Strong's definition, it says ethnos, probably from G 1486. It says what? A race as of the same habit, tribe, specifically a foreign, all right, non-Jewish, one usually by implication pagan, Gentile, heathen, nation, people. But as you can see, that word there is talking about a race, a nationality of people, race against race, so-called black against so-called white, all right, so-called Hispanics against Japan. America is a melting pot of all nationalities. Every single nationality on the planet Earth is here in America in some group. Okay. And I got this because this whole situation with a Marquelis Williams, you know, if you just go on like TikTok, I was just scrolling on TikTok. And look at the main ones talking about it. You know, of course you got other heathens and stuff talking about it, but this is really riling up Jake's spirit. You know, Jake is really upset over this. When I say Jake, I'm saying you Israelites, you so-called blacks. A lot of the so-called blacks, the tribe of Judah, is very upset at this, man. And they're very upset at Esau, Edom, who was majority of you so-called white people, because when you do research on the case, there was some clear racism involved with the prosecutors. Apparently one of them stabbed a black man that was going to be on the jury back in 2001 when this case was being held. Now, there's more you can read up on. Like I said, this is just a quick video, but hey, a lot of the so-called blacks, their spirit is stirred up. Okay, they're stirred up. Jake is very upset at Esau, Edom, because they clearly just put this man to death when there's no proof that he did the crime. So Lord willing, this could be a catalyst to race wars. All right, I'm gonna read this one last time and end it. Matthew 24:7. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation." All right, that's race against race, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And all these are the beginning of sorrow. So nation against nation, that's going to happen sometime in America, whether it's off this or whether it's in the future. But you're going to have Israelites, so-called black people, that are going to try to fight against so-called white people. Okay, you're going to have race against race. Like I said, we got Indians over here, Chinese, Japanese. Everybody's going to cleave to their nation, and they're going to go to war with each other here in America, here in the streets. This is biblical prophecy. All hell is going to break loose in America. You're going to have race wars. You're going to have pestilences, diseases. Esau, Edom trying to establish the NWO. All right, the new order of the world. This is the time period that we're coming in. All right, so, hey, and one last scripture, man. One last scripture. Now that we know that this is the time period we're coming in, all right, and when you see different news like this is the perspective you should have, is to interpret it with the scriptures, with the prophecy we know the scriptures is going to say. All right. This is one last scripture. And this is just for us to keep in mind. This is Psalm 68:20. He that is our power is the power of salvation, and unto the Most High, the Lord, belongeth the issues from death. There's another scripture that says, no man has perished being innocent. So I just wanted to get that as well, just to show you that this so-called black man that got put to death, the Lord allowed that to happen. The Lord ordained it at the end of the day. And it's not something you should question on why it happened. It happened ultimately not because the so-called white man had the power to do it. It's because the Most High let it happen. All right. The Lord allowed it to happen. He ordained it. All right. It said, the Lord belongeth the issues from death. So anytime someone dies, the Lord allowed it to happen. All right. Life and death is all of that is in control of by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So yeah, that was just a quick little update on that, man. Hey, we know that the Lord put him to death ultimately. Hey, but Lord willing, this could start race wars, because Jake is very fed up at the fact that a so-called black man was just put to death. They're extremely upset. All right. So Lord willing, this can be the catalyst to that. All right. Shalom.